Al, it's time to fall into a dangerous trap
It's true.
because you're too horny to see otherwise.
You know what? Uh, happens to everybody, right?
It's true. It's one day you're walking along, and the next is, oh man, there's a giant mantis in front of me trying to kill me.
Oh no.
Can't believe this happened again. Again.
Oh man.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Jared and Now Watch Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing Season 2, Episode number 1, or Episode 28, called Miroku Falls into a Dangerous Trap. Because he's just thinking with
Miroku?
his smaller brain, his lower brain,
Yeah.
instead of his upper brain.
Yep. He is living up to the lecherous monk
It's true.
moniker here.
We begin this episode, Sango and Kagome are smoking out a demon, essentially, and Inuyasha's like, oh, I'm gonna be very ill.
Yeah,
Because the smell does not go well with him.
I was gonna say his sniffer is very sensitive, but I mean his nose, his sense of smell is very sensitive, not his sniffer.
Miroku's just out in the crowd, and then he sees a lady, and he's like, oh,
Hello.
I will follow you. And then everyone goes back to their like hotel room, and they're like, where did Miroku go? And she was like, he followed a lady. They're like, oh god, that
What an
fool.
idiot.
And then we cut to that scene where the lady's like, yes, I used to be a princess, and now I want to have a child with a strong man. And Miroku's like, ho ho, yes, I could be that man. Yes, indeed. And then the lady like busts out mantis arms and turns to a giant mantis, and he's like, how did I not see this coming?
Of course.
Ah,
It was too good to be true.
you fool. So he wind tunnels the giant mantis but injures himself, and then comes back, and the lady's just like giving him the side eye the whole time, and he's like, Inuyasha, do you think the ladies are giving me the cold stare? And Inuyasha's like, what do you think? He's like, all right, whoa, let me explain. Misunderstanding. And they're like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
And he was just like, dude, they think you're a womanizer.
He's like,
And then Britney
what?
Spears' Womanizer starts playing.
Me?
Never.
We cut to sleepy time, and Miroku stays up thinking about his father
It's bad.
dying due to his own wind tunnel, getting sucked up into his own wind tunnel. And he's like, oh no, if I'm injured, that could be my fate too. So then he just leaves.
Can we talk about the fact that that's a really weird, like, an awful way to go that you just get sucked up by your own dang wind tunnel in your hand?
It's real messed up.
That's real messed up in front of your kid.
Yeah. Like, that
Yikes.
super sucks.
Yeah, super, super sucks.
Not
So
what you
anyways,
want.
like, man, that could potentially happen to me, and that would be bad, and I would not like that.
Very much so. So yeah, he leaves right before anyone else wakes up because he's going to go off and see his former mentor, Mushin. He rides off with Hachi, who's also wearing his cool 69 shirt.
I never even noticed that until you mentioned it, honestly.
Big 69 fan, that Hachi.
Nice.
And then everyone else wakes up and is like, where'd he go? And he's like, some old man's like, oh, he said he had to leave and wanted me to wish you guys good journeys. They're like, dummy.
Also, to be fair, Hachi is friends with Miroku, and so of course he would wear a 69 shirt.
Yeah. So Miroku wakes up Mushin, who's been drinking, and he's like, hey, fix my wind tunnel. He's like, oh, you're gonna die today. And Miroku's like, huh? And Mushin's like, nah, I'm messing with you.
Just joshing.
Go cleanse yourself, because Lord knows you need it. And
Get
then
outta here,
we'll get
you
this all fixed up.
nasty. Oh my god.
So they're doing that. Miroku takes some drugs, and then Mushin gets possessed by a demon and tries to kill kill Miroku.
Yep.
He's like, oh, the demon's like, oh, I ran into Miroku, who said if I kill you, he'll give me a shard of the Shikan jewel. And Miroku's like, oh, dude, I'm way too high for this. The rest of the gang spot a bee spying on them, and they're gonna kill it. But then Inuyasha's like, wait a minute, we should follow that bee, see where it leads us, because that seems suspicious.
The only time those are ever deployed is when Miroku's around. So maybe if we follow it, we'll get to Miroku.
It's true.
Which, I mean, sound logic, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Miroku is able to escape with Hachi, but he's like, hey, you should leave. These demons are gonna come after me. Get out of here, save yourself. And then Hachi just runs away, and then it gets attacked by a bunch of bees, and then falls. And Inuyasha finds him and is like, hey, what's up? And he's like, Miroku's in trouble. We should go find him and help him. And they're like, all right, let's go. And Miroku's like, I cannot believe I'm going to die because of my womanizing ways, because I was horny.
No.
How could I have not seen this coming? And then the gang shows up.
The gang's all here.
And Miroku's like, oh, hey, you're all here. Cool. I don't have to die yet.
Yay.
And Inuyasha goes after Mushin, but Miroku's like, hey, don't kill him. I kind of need him to fix me up. He's been possessed. Fix that. So Kagome and some of the others go off and try and find the worm charmer so they can get the bottle and get the possession out of Mushin's body and everything. Inuyasha gets tied up in some beads and electrocuted a lot, and then just a bunch of demons just keep flying at him. He keeps trying to attack him and keeps getting electrocuted. And then Miroku's like, what if I use the wind tunnel? This seems like a good idea. And Hachi's like, no, this is a really dumb idea. And Miroku's like, yeah, I'm going to do it anyways.
It's like the story of Miroku. He's like, oh, that's a dumb idea. I'm going to do it anyways. Thanks, Miroku.
So he's wind tunnels some of them and then falls backwards, but Inuyasha grabs him. Except he doesn't grab Hachi. He just falls backwards.
Whoops.
Inuyasha knocks out Mushin. Back. And then a bunch more demons come out, but Inuyasha finally awakens the full power of Tetsaiga and destroys them all. And he's like, whoa, cool.
Turns out golden, shiny.
Yeah. Songo kills the worm charmer. They grab the bottle. They suck out the demon vape. And then Mushin's like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm going to go fix up Miroku tomorrow. We'll get that done. He talks to Inuyasha the next day. He's like, hey, the wind tunnel's kind of spread. That's not good. So if you really want to make sure he lives, you got to kill Naraku.
Yeah. Inuyasha even asks, like, well, how long does he have to live? And he's like, shrug shoulders.
Dude,
just
I
kill
don't know.
Naraku.
Just kill Naraku. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll live. It's fine.
The others are all by Miroku's bed, waiting for him to wake up. And then he wakes up and he's like, oh, my hand. They're like, oh, no, what's wrong? And then you just see Songo just like with a weird look on her face. And he's just like grabbing her butt.
He's just stroking the booty.
And she just bonks him. And then Mushin to Inuyasha's like, oh, that Miroku's bloodline, you must fear it. And that's how we end our episode.
Oh man. It makes me wonder, like, was his dad also just
like a horn dog?
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
It's to be feared. Rubbing the booty. It is too much. It's so scary, Maxwell. Now.
Let's talk about some notes and differences.
Okay.
Although it is not named, this is the first time Inuyasha uses the Wind Scar to save Miroku, which I'm guessing is the cool Tetsaiga attack?
Yes, that's like one of his main attacks throughout the rest of the series.
Okay. This episode had a reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What?
Episode Teacher's Pet, and where a giant mantis possesses a high school teacher, which that's not how this works here. It's just they just both have giant mantises in the show.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually a reference. I think that's just...
That's someone stretching.
Similarities.
Differences.
Bet you like the water god from the last episode.
Yes. Differences from the manga. After his
Wind tunnel
was cut in the manga, one of Naraku's somethings.
Bees.
Oh, yes. One of the bees is seen fleeing the scene. This is omitted in the anime. In the manga, the group minus Miroku is lured by Naraku away from the direction Miroku headed in. Naraku makes no appearance in this episode. Instead, the group chases after a bee that had been spying on them. In the manga, when Miroku asks the possessed Mushin who he is, Mushin merely states he's the one who raised him. In the anime, however, the possessed Mushin states he is the demon sent by Naraku to kill Miroku in exchange for a Shikon shard. The conversation between the group about their lack of knowledge about Miroku is omitted in the anime. In the manga, the relatives of the mantis demons Miroku killed converse about wanting revenge. In the anime, they merely attack without saying a word and then get obliterated immediately. Kagome and Sango find the Subu Sukai in a storage room in the manga, whereas it is on the roof of the temple in the anime, which I guess that's the bottle?
Yeah, the like charmer dude.
Okay.
I don't know. So they kind of hint at it a little bit, but like one of Moroku's big things throughout the series is that like he wants a kid. Well, yes, he is that too. He wants a kid because he's afraid that if like he dies, that no one's gonna be able to like take down Naraku. But the problem is that he has a kid. The kid inherits Wind Tunnel. Da 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 da. It's a whole messed up thing. But anyway, he claims that's part of why he's always trying to like get with the ladies.
Claims.
So like some of that is hinted at here with the whole like, oh man, this is too good to be true. This hot princess lady wants to bone me and have my baby. But that's like something that he does really want is kids.
Well, I'm sure we probably don't see his kids in the sequel show or anything like that. Definitely not.
I was gonna say something else, but I don't know how spoilery you want me to get.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to have some child in that show. Because there's like 30,000 kids in that show.
Yes. He has.
So there you go.
He has a few kids by that point, but you also actually see his kids in the end of Inuyasha.
Oh.
The original.
Oh.
Not the original, but the final act.
Yes.
Yeah, you see his kids then.
Well, regardless, that's going to do it.
Future.
That's the future. That's going to do it for this episode as well. Next time, when we talk about Inuyasha, we will be discussing Season 2, Episode number 2, or Episode 29, called Sango Suffering and Kohaku's Life. Her brother's back.
Her brother, which I already kind of spoiled that he was alive, but whoops.
That's all right. Which I believe we will be watching this in like a few weeks' time. Because I believe Superstar, Love Life Superstar to be exact, gets preempted again due to the Paralympics. So we will return for this episode, I believe. I think it's only one episode this time, but we will return for this episode in a few weeks. But next week should be the return of Jared and Now Watch Love Life Superstar with episode number 3, unless some weird scheduling has happened and they just air that episode on streaming regardless.
Yeah.
And then these episodes don't come out until literally like October.
Woo.
So who knows?
We'll see.
Most likely you are going to be hearing this at the end of July. But you never know with how things could be. So yes, that's our scheduling little stuff we will be dealing with. So yeah. But if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like the Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can also follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can buy our books, One Shining Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week for episode 3 of Jared and Now Watch Love, Life, Superstar, and in a few weeks, probably like around the end of August, for the next installment of Jared and Now Watch Inuyasha with episode number 29, where Kohaku's back.
He's back. Brother.